Hello, welcome to episode 98 of Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro. I'm Hope Katz Gibbs, proud producer of the show on the Incandescent Radio Network and Incandescent TV. We know you will love today's guest, Robert. Let me get your name right. Pagliarini. How'd I do?
Not bad. I've heard it worse.
Okay, all
That's pretty
right.
good.
He has a PhD and tons of advice to offer us. And he is the author of a new book, Badass Retirement. This is actually his fifth book. And he has nearly 30 years of experience working with retirees. So I can't wait to hear more about it. Take it away, Miss Rita.
Well, thank you, Hope, and welcome, Robert.
Oh, so great to be here, Margarita. Thank you.
We are so excited to have you. Let's just jump right into it.
Do it.
What is a badass retirement? What does
Oh,
it mean
great
to be a
question.
badass in retirement?
Yes. Yes. So I think to answer the question, what is a badass retirement? I think it's helpful if we look at what an average retirement is. And I think if you ask people, well, tell me what is life in retirement? And I think you would get a very similar response. I think most people think of retirement as doing less, pulling back, relaxing, just sort of hanging out, existing. And listen, I know for a lot of people, that's their dream. And they're very happy with that kind of retirement. So I like to think of there are different flavors of retirement, and the average retirement is one of them. But for some people, probably the minority, they look at that and they think, ooh, that's not really the kind of life that I want in retirement. And for those people, I think they want something a little different, a little more adventurous, a little bit more exciting. And that's really what badass retirement is all about. And I didn't even come up with the name badass retirement. That was actually something that a client said. I was telling him about my view of retirement, about doing more, becoming more, experiencing more, having adventure, having a life full of meaning, instead of stepping back, but really like pushing forward and just doing more. And he was like, "Oh my God, that sounds like a badass retirement." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so good. That's exactly what it is." And so badass retirement is all about thinking about the kind of life that you want and that you've dreamed of. And instead of pulling back, it's all about just pushing forward, having more goals in retirement. And I know for some people, they think, wait a second, I retired. I don't want goals anymore. Like I want to check out. I don't want to do anything in retirement. And again, that's cool. If that's the style of retirement you want, go for it. If that's going to make you happy, do it. But I know, having done this for almost 30 years, there are a few of us who want something a little bit different. And so when I talk about this approach to retirement, I know it turns a lot of people off, but there's a few who are like, "Yes, that's exactly the kind of life that I want." And for those people, it's like, welcome. Like, please join us. Join this community of people who are striving and are setting impossible goals and are really trying to do more in their retirement.
Absolutely love that. Even the title of your book, Badass Retirement, shatter the retirement myth and live with more money, meaning, and adventure. Or
Mm.
maybe it's meaning, money, and adventure. They're all important. So that's fantastic. And our clients definitely um, d- I'm sure you communicate to your client that you're writing badass retirement.
Oh, they know for sure. Yeah. And some of them are like, oh, that's nice. Not really for me. And that, again, that's totally fine. That's cool. I get it. Even when I post sometimes on social media, Instagram, uh, I'll have people say, "What are you talking about? Like that seems absurd. That's crazy. Why would I want to have adventures and do all of these things and push forward and have all these goals? Like I'm retired, man. I don't want to do that." And again, it's like that's cool. Like again, if that's the style of retirement you want, go for it. But there are some of us who just want something a little bit different, a little bit bolder and more exciting. And that's really what badass retirement's all about.
No, I love it. And I love your social media posts. So I noticed your Instagram post about retirees don't need to be bubble wrapped. I noticed you also talk about culture and how the media portray older people badly. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so that's a great point. I think we've been a little bit brainwashed, maybe. I really feel like our environment, the media, the culture, can influence our perception and can influence our thoughts, our beliefs. And I think that it's done us a great disservice. The retirement with myth, something that I write about and talk about, and it's this. I think it's a myth that we'll be happier and more fulfilled um, if we do less. And I don't think that that's true. And I think that the culture and the media perpetuate this belief that when you get older, that we need to scale back and that we need to do less. And that when we're older, maybe we're a little bit more frail and we're weaker. And, older is associated with just being fragile. And honestly, I think that's a load of BS. I do not think that that's the case at all. If you talk to someone who's 60, 65, 70, think about what they've gone through in their lives. They've probably suffered setbacks and tragedies, and they've lost people, and they've worked, and they've sacrificed. Older does not mean weaker. Older means experienced, bolder, just but I think that if you look at the culture and look at what the media promotes, it's the opposite of that. And my mission is to really flip that on its head. Say, you know what? If you're older, it doesn't mean that you're weaker. It means that you're stronger, that you're more capable. I mean, when we retire, we have more time, money, resources, and wisdom than we've ever had in our entire lives. Retirement's not the time to step back and to do less. The exact opposite. It's time to do more. And so that's where I think the culture and the media really has done us a grave disservice.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That means so much. So I think about one of my clients who will be 78 this year. And before the pandemic, when she was 73, 74, she has two bikes, a mountain bike and a city bike. Well taken care of, well prepared. She's like, I decided to step up my fitness game. I hired a personal trainer because I think that, I need to build more lean muscle. I
Nice.
stepped up my fitness game and she's lifting 3 to 4 times a week with a trainer.
That is amazing. That is what I'm talking about. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, instead of dialing it back and saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell my bikes. I'm going to, do less." She's like, "No, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to build. I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better as I age." That's awesome.
So you say retirees have one job in retirement. What is it?
It's the job that your client is doing, and that is you have to focus and upgrade your health. I mean, think about the last time you had the flu or even just a headache. When we're sick, when we're not feeling well, when we don't have energy, all of our goals, our aspirations, our relationship, all of that takes the back seat. All we can focus on is feeling better. And so in retirement, we really have to prioritize not just our health, but actually improving, upgrading our health. So that means focusing on our nutrition, our exercise, getting stronger, in just becoming a better version of ourselves. Because when we are in our working years, listen, we've got a job. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of resources at that point. But as soon as we retire, now all of a sudden we have an extra 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. So we need to dedicate some of those hours to improving ourselves, becoming healthier. So then we can do all of those badass things that we want to do. We can travel, we can go on adventures, we can hang out with the grandkids, we can tackle those goals that we want to do. If we don't have our health, we can't do any of those things.
So true. Our health is our wealth. So sometimes, I've been following, I don't say stalk, I say follow. And I see you in post with a shirt that says retirement is not the finish line. Can you talk about that some more?
Yes. And in fact, I don't know if you can see it. I wore it just for you today. Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I post on Instagram and that message, it was kind of just a joke at first, but it's really resonated with people. They look at that and they go, yes. And I think for too many people, they think that once they retire, like that's it. They've reached sort of the top of the mountain, and that's all there is, and they can just coast from that point on. Um, but there again, a few of us were like, no, like certainly that's the end of one chapter, but it's the start of something else. And I really like to think of retirement's not the top of the mountain. It's like it's the trailhead, right? It's the base of the mountain and you're on to this next big adventure in life. And so it's a shift in mindset of thinking, okay, I'm sort of done and I'm going to coast to, okay, it's the starting line. What can I do now once that I'm retired? All of the things that I just didn't have time for before, now I can do it. So let's do it. Let's get it started.
Which is so true. We're not retiring from something, we're going to something. I mean, I think about, as we wind down, one of my clients who loved to travel. He loved helping people. So what did he do? Retired pharmacist, went on medical missions to the Caribbean and to
Oh,
Africa.
oh,
Very
wow.
beautiful.
Wow, you have such amazing clients. That is amazing.
So as we wind down, we often hear about safe spaces. We have to create a safe space, a safe environment.
Yeah.
Why do you recommend creating an unsafe space in retirement?
Right. Little controversial, right?
Yes. What's he talking about?
Yeah, what in the world is he talking about? So this idea of an unsafe space, I really feel like our environment and especially the people that we are around exert an immense influence over our thoughts, our beliefs, our decisions, our actions. And so this idea of an unsafe space is sometimes to be in a group or around others that are doing things that challenge your idea of what you can do. And so, for example, to be in a group where everyone is maybe it's a group where everyone is really in shape and they're healthy and they're doing adventurous things and you're feeling like, "Ooh, wow, all of these people are out there really just killing it. And I feel like I'm not challenging myself enough." And that's the idea of it's unsafe in that it makes you a little uncomfortable, maybe a little envious, maybe a little like, ooh, I've got to do more because I see these other people and they're just doing so well and they're living their lives. And I feel like maybe I'm not doing quite enough myself. That's what I mean by an unsafe space. I want you to feel a little bit uncomfortable because in retirement, the thing that we most people do is they make their lives so comfortable, so easy that we're never challenged anymore. And I think we need to be challenged. We need to be scared a little bit. We need to put ourselves in situations where we're a little bit afraid. And that at that point, challenge is what creates fulfillment and purpose, I think. Not a life of just carefree and ease.
That's so beautiful. So we want you to have the opportunity to share more about badass retirement. So your book, website, and social media handles so people can follow your work.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can download the introduction of the book at badassretirement.com. And I am pretty active on social media, especially Instagram, and it's Badass Retirement. And check it out. I would love for you to connect. If this flavor of retirement is something that intrigues you and maybe scares you a little bit, please join us. Join the community of other like-minded people who are looking to push forward rather than retreat. That would be amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. And now back to you, Hope.
Oh, that's so great. I think you've stood up too fast. Can we see that shirt again?
Oh, sure. Let's see. You see it?
I love it. Retirement is not the finish line. Thank
There it is.
you so much. We can't wait to read this book, Badass Retirement. When will it be available?
It should be published in about 2 weeks. Very excited to get it out there.
Beautiful. So by the time this podcast is live on June 23rd, hopefully you will be able to get it and you can find all the links on the promos for Robert. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Miss Rita.
Oh, thank you so much, both of you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, it's our pleasure. We'll talk to you soon with episode 99. Thank you again. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for being part of our Incandescent Radio and TV family. This is Hope Katz-Gibbs, founder of Incandescent Incorporated, the PR and publishing company for women entrepreneurs. Our Incandescent Radio and TV shows are brought to you by our advertisers and clients. Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, brings us 15 minutes of tips every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live, where you'll meet experts who are helping us flex our financial muscles. Find all of the episodes at margaritacheng.com. You'll also meet intuitive psychotherapist Kara Keem, who interviews therapists and other intuitive guides from around the world. Learn more at karakeem.com. And you're going to love social justice expert Karen Hanrahan, CEO of the San Francisco-based Glide Memorial Foundation. She bridges the gap from local impact to global change on her thought leadership show on Incandescent Radio. Learn more about Karen at KarenHanrahan.com. You're also going to love Alina Liao, founder of the radical wellness journaling company, ZenitJournals.com. Alina asks, have you tried to journal but found it hard to keep up? Zenit makes it easier to journal for your wellness. With Zenit, you can customize your journal with prompts that speak to you. No more blank pages. Your Zenit is your personalized space to take care of yourself. Website, ZenitJournals.com. Feel it, write it, Zenit. You'll also meet amazing Tracy Schott, founder of Voices for Change. Tracy is determined to change the world and end domestic violence. Learn more at voicesforchange.net. And we are so thrilled to be publishing a book for Angela Mitchell, who is the tech expert of case management. And she's also the founder of this fabulous organization, Kids Code 2. She is determined to teach kids to code computers. Talk about teaching a kid to fish. We invite you to discover and peruse all the Incandescent Incorporated websites, the magazine for women, by women, about women, incandescentwomen.com. Our health and wellness magazine is beincandescent.com, the business of mind, body, spirit, soul, and heart. Our YouTube channel is incandescent.tv, and you can learn about our PR and book publishing services at incandescent.us. If you'd like to have your own radio and video show, check us out at incandescentradio.com, where you can see what we can do for you. These podcasts are also featured on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Our podcasts are produced by Brandy Wilsker. Our videos are produced by Nelson Benavides. Our website developer is Max Cucoy, and our incandescent illustrator and designer is Michael Glenwood Gibbs. If you'd like to learn more, please send me an email, hope@hopegibbs.com. Here is to your incredible, indelible, incandescent success. Much love and many